Here live at Kent State University, on this day, May 4th, 1970, members of the Ohio National Guard fired into the crowd of Kent State University demonstrators, killing 4 and wounding 9 Kent State students. The impact of the shootings was dramatic. At the conclusion of the anti-war rally on Friday, May 1st, student protest leaders had called for another rally to be held on the Commons at noon, Monday, May 4th. Although the university officials had attempted on the morning of May 4th to inform the campus that the rally was prohibited, a crowd began to gather beginning as early as 11 a.m. By noon, the entire Commons area contained approximately 3,000 people. Although estimates are inexact, probably about 500 core demonstrators were gathered around the Victory Bell at one end of the Commons. Another 1,000 people were the cheerleaders supporting the active demonstrators, and an additional 1,500 people were spectators on May 4th to inform the campus that the rally was prohibited. A crowd began to gather beginning as early as 11 a.m. By noon, the entire Commons area contained approximately 3,000 people. Although estimates are inexact, probably about 500 core demonstrators were gathered around the Victory Bell at one end of the Commons. Another 1,000 people were the cheerleaders supporting the active demonstrators, and an additional 1,500 people were spectators standing around the perimeter of the Commons. Shortly before noon, General Canterbury made the decision to order the demonstrators to disperse. A Kent State police officer standing by the guard made an announcement using a bullhorn. When this had no effect, the officer was placed in a jeep along with several guardsmen and driven across the Commons to tell the protesters that the rally had been banned and that they must disperse. This was met with angry shouting and rocks, and the jeep retreated. The guardsman then reminds me I have Rex, a student of Kent State that is a first-hand witness of what has happened today. Can you please describe what you dealt with today?
It has been a very terrible day. A classmate of mine has been shot in the back in the midst of all the shooting. She didn't make it. It does not feel real that everyone has been getting injured for just speaking their opinion. The guards were more violent than it was necessary. It's not like we were shooting up the place. Some students were just throwing rocks, and that's when the government decided to take lethal action.
Thank you for your insight on the situation. It is very devastating to hear what has happened today.
You're welcome.
We'll now go back to Anel, who has a guard side of the story.
Officer from the Ohio National Guard. Hello, John. Can you tell us why the guardsmen decided to fire onto the unarmed students?
I know we're done may sound really bad, but the guns were fired in self-defense. I was in fear for my life in such a way that it posed as a serious, immediate threat to our safety. In retrospect, this tragedy today should not have occurred. The students were not right into continuing this long for their mass protest of the Cambodian invasion, and there was an order the other day to ban the rallies. Many of us were anxious in today's situation, but I do regret how it ended.
It's very tragic that guns had to be fired. That is all the time we have right now, but we will be back on at 9 to further more the investigation on the Kent State shootings. Thanks for listening.
Ow!